Hi everyone, it's Georgie here from Her Hair, My Head, and I wanted to come on to talk a little bit about my hair loss journey. So this isn't my real hair, I'm wearing a topper at the moment, and this hair under here is my real hair. So I have a form of alopecia called androgenetic alopecia, which is also known as female pattern hair loss. And this basically means that my hair is very slowly falling out. So for me, most of my thinning is at the front of my hairline, the parting, and then at the crown, and it's starting to thin at the sides, but at the underneath is, I mean, it's not thick, but there is some hair there. And I've had this for quite a number of years. It started in my 20s and I'm now nearly 36. It's just been slowly getting thinner and thinner, and I would say that it's got significantly worse after having my 2 children. So in the last 5 years, I have gone from sometimes wearing a bit of fibres or spray to cover up my thin patches and sometimes having my normal hair, to now I wear toppers full time. So I never go out without a topper or a hat on my head, and it's really hard having this kind of hair loss. I think often other types of hair loss, they're more of a short, sharp shock if you go from having a full head of hair to no hair, whereas this is very slow and gradual, but it still feels horrible. It's still a very long and drawn out process. So I guess my best piece of advice for somebody who's going through hair loss is to try and find support from people who are going through the same thing, because that's what makes you feel better. As lovely as my friends and family are, they don't necessarily understand what it's like to lose your hair, and they'll try and be supportive or say things like, oh, your hair loss isn't that bad, but when you wake up every day and look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, it's really hard to sort of discuss that with friends and family. Whereas if you can speak to people who are going through the same thing as you, this is my cat, thank you, Molly, it's just really helpful because they understand, and it makes you feel less alone. The Instagram community is amazing. Even if you're not at a place where you want to share your hair loss, you can just go on and follow lots of people and they'll give you tips and they'll talk about their own hair loss, and it just makes you feel a bit less alone. Or if you can find someone to connect with, like a hair loss buddy to talk to, I think that really helps. The third question that I've got to answer is about the biggest challenge with my hair loss and how I've overcome it. Well, for me, the biggest challenge was being open about it. I used to be terrified that people would comment on my hair, take photos of my hair, and then I found alternative hair and I started wearing toppers. And then I was terrified that people would know that I was wearing a topper. So I had this constant stress in my chest whenever I went out. And then I decided to just be open about it, and I set up my Instagram account in the summer of 2019. Started sharing photos, talking about my hair loss, started being more open with people, and started to think, well, I am wearing toppers. If someone compliments my hair, I can tell them I'm wearing a topper or not. There's nothing to be ashamed of. And I've just been trying to sort of embrace my new normal, which is that I wear hair, and maybe eventually if my hair gets much thinner I might have to wear wigs, but for now I'm wearing toppers. And I honestly, once I started being more open about my hair loss, it was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. And I still have those days where I don't want to talk about it, or I feel awkward, or someone will say something or compliment me on my hair and I'll sort of just go, oh, thank you, and feel a bit uncomfortable. But yeah, being open about it it was a big challenge, and it was really scary, but actually the world hasn't caved in and it's made me feel loads better. And I know for some people that's a really hard thing to do, and I'm not saying that everyone has to do it, but it really helped me. So yeah, if you ever want someone to talk to about hair loss, or you have questions, or you think it's a silly question, or you're not really sure if you want to go for toppers or wigs, or you want to know how to cover up thin patches with sprays or fibres, then my DMs are always open, and I'm always there to give advice to people, because I found that really useful when I started out with being open about my hair loss and my journey of wearing alternative hair. Thank you.